So normally on Tuesdays, I do a Tuesday tip video. Well, this time I wanted to do something a little bit different and just talk about something that is extremely important to me and that I'm very passionate about. And I think a lot of the people who view this YouTube channel on a regular basis are also passionate about. And that is just the importance of a skate park to a local community. If anybody out there is trying to get their city to put a skate park in, this is the video that you send to the people at the city so they can hear how positive of an influence a skate park will have on a local community, or can have, and the people that are in that community that might need something like a local skate park. So that being said, where do we start with all this? Well, this past weekend, I was at an event. It was a fundraiser for a skate park that is going to be built in a local community near me. And I had the opportunity to talk at this event, and everyone who spoke before me said things about the event itself to where I felt like I just didn't have anything to say about the event, and I kind of blacked out. And it was perfect because it led me to talking about the importance of skate parks to local communities. And I realized it just by standing where we were at, surrounded by baseball fields. There was a pickleball field, court, whatever it is. The local high school football stadium was nearby as well. And just looking at those things, I realized that we should talk about the fact that communities usually have these resources available to people who participate in team and organized sports. Whether it's baseball, football, soccer, whatever it might be, there's pretty much always somewhere for people who participate in those sports to do them. But when it comes to something like BMX or skateboarding or scootering or whatever it might be, there isn't always somewhere for someone who does that to go. And this town is a perfect example of that because they have all of these different resources. There's so many different ball fields, and they put so much focus on these team and organized sports, and they do a giant softball tournament every 4th of July where so many different people come into this town. But when it comes to the people who aren't cut out for these types of sports, they just didn't or don't have anything to do or anywhere to go. And while we were at this event, a local BMX rider, Ben Lorson, his dad, who has been advocating for a skate park in this town for years, is now on city council and a part of this process. So I had to talk to him, and he had so many good things to say. And I just wanted to play a clip from the video that I did at this event so that you guys could hear directly from him what he had to say, because it's profound, and I really think that you should hear it.
One of their focuses early on was trying to find things for kids to do, because in Orville we have a suicide problem, we have a drug problem, and we have kids who don't have anything else to do. They have nowhere to go, and these kids aren't going to go out for the football team. They're not going to go out for the baseball team. And it took a lot of just bringing the idea that this is a good activity. This is something that people can be outside and be creative with, and spend hours and hours and lifetimes. You can spend your lifetime doing this. I loved what you said in the beginning.
So that point where he's talking about the problems that local communities have and how some of these people feel like they have nowhere to go, and the people aren't going to go out for the conventional sports, but maybe if there was something like a skate park there, they might find that thing, or maybe that's their thing that they're meant to do. And that not having the resource of a skate park in their local community means that they just would never take part in it or find that thing. And that's such a sad thought to have. I mean, if you think about someone like Picasso, what if he never picked up an art utensil and found his talent? And then there's also the lifelong aspect of this. So when you take a look at something like a conventional team sport, usually these end with high school, and for some people, college. If you look around you, and if you're an adult watching this, I know that you know what I'm talking about. When you got out of high school, there was all of the stars who were there, who were the football stars, the basketball stars, the cheerleaders, whatever it might be, who never took part in one of these activities ever again past high school. When it comes to the activities that happen at a skate park, those are lifelong activities. I know people from the age of 7 and under to over the age of 50 and 60 who participate in just BMX alone. It's incredible that these things can last you an entire lifetime. And at that, another aspect to consider in all of this, and if you're a person at a city listening to this, think about this one very closely as well, because this is one that's affected my life personally. And just the fact that people who ride BMX, and I'm going to keep using this example because I'm a BMX rider, learn life skills that impact much more than just BMX, far further reaching than what they would learn if they were playing a video game at home. You're learning life skills about not giving up and having determination and building up your toughness to deal with failure. Because when you're learning things on a BMX bike, and this one right here is a perfect example, that didn't happen first try. That didn't happen right away, and that didn't just happen overnight. There was a build up to it and a lot of trial and error and failure to lead to the success of this happening in 2011. This was the first time I ever did anything like this, and this is my local skate park where I would consider a home. You learn about things like street smarts and paying attention to the things that are around you and awareness, things that you might learn, hand-eye coordination through something like football or organized sports, and you learn about teamwork, but things that these organized sports will never teach you. Paying attention to your surroundings, because you're at a skate park and anybody can come from anywhere and anything can happen. And at the local skate park, you hang out and you see all of the different people of the community, whereas in team sports, you're in a controlled location where not just anybody can come in and participate. And when you travel to other areas, you learn about these things and just pretty much life skills that can contribute to all aspects of your life are things that you can learn about through BMX and through skateboarding and through things that happen at local skate parks. Now, for another moment, let's talk about careers and productive pathways that you can take in life. And if you're a person at a city or a parent or something who's watching this video, you might be like, what does that have anything to do with BMX or a skate park? Well, I'm going to tell you right now that I wouldn't be here right now with the skills to edit this video and make this video if it wasn't for BMX. I would have never picked up a camera and started filming things and learning how to make videos if it wasn't for BMX. That is literally my career. That's how I make a living, is through videos. And it all came from when I was 13 years old. I wanted to make BMX videos, so I picked up a point and shoot camera that my parents had, filmed on it, and then just taught myself how to edit. And then through progressing and wanting to make better and better videos and do cooler and cooler things with them, I taught myself more and more. And that eventually led to me going to college to get a cinematic arts degree, where I graduated as the outstanding senior in cinematic arts for my class, which is a designation only one person per major per graduating year gets. I got that achievement all because of BMX and wanting to video and learning this through riding BMX. And this isn't just a singular career path that can come from BMX. Let's take it in a totally different direction. Let's talk about mechanical engineering, or whatever it's actually called, where you're designing the products that people use and see on a day-to-day basis. Well, I can tell you right now that I have friends, many friends actually, who are CNC machinists because in their tech classes in high school, or they went to the tech school, they went into the machining class so that they could learn how to make basic BMX parts, and they could do that. You can learn how to be a machinist. You can use CAD and different 3D rendering programs to design things, all because of your passion for BMX and wanting to design BMX parts. There are kids out there 3D printing BMX parts that they designed themselves just because they love BMX and wanted to learn about that. That can lead to a career path. Then you could talk about business things. You could start a business and try to run a business in BMX, which would teach you business skills that you could translate outside of the BMX world. So there are just three very real career paths that can come from something like BMX, and that all stems from the skate park. And I'm here to tell you that I'm a living example of that. I do video as a career. Like I said earlier, I wouldn't be here right now making this video for you if it wasn't for BMX. And now to take this to the intangible side of things, the different traveling around the entire world that comes from things like BMX just to do that one thing and meet people all around the world and country is amazing. You can travel the world and meet people and make lifelong friends with this lifelong sport just through BMX. And if there's no local communities that have skate parks, well, you don't have as many places to go. I have so many lifelong friends and the best people in the entire world that I have met through BMX. I know people in pretty much, you could say, every state in all different countries all around the world just because of BMX. And it's such a small but gigantic world all at the exact same time. The aspect of just accomplishments and feeling good about yourself and being productive and creative and having an outlet is something that is huge these days. Mental health is a giant conversation that's happening in the world around us right now. I can tell you that something like BMX and the people who do ride BMX, for example, talk about it because it's their outlet. It's the way people not only express their creativity, but also cope with all of the different things that happen to us in the real world. It's their way they vent stress. It's the way they just get away from everything else. And that is a hugely positive thing that you might not think about in all of this conversation. And then there's things like the revenue that having a local skate park in your community can bring to your community. And I'm not saying that you make it a pay to participate park. I'm saying that if you do well in the design and build process of the skate park and you include the people who actually participate in the activities that happen at a skate park, you're going to build something that people from other communities want to come experience. And when people come and experience this thing in your community, they will no doubt spend money in your community. And you can have events as well where a lot of people will come into the community at the exact same time, and that will no doubt bring money into the community as well. Skate parks are a hugely important resource to the communities that they exist in. And if you're a person who's considering, maybe we should build a skate park in the local community, or maybe we should pursue this idea and see where we can take it, I'm here to tell you that I literally would not be in front of you right now doing everything that we're doing, and I would not have learned as much as I've learned about life, and I wouldn't have been taken down the career path that I have been or met the friends that I have been. I literally would not have any of the aspects of the life that I live on a daily basis if it wasn't for BMX and having this skate park right here and having access to it when I first discovered BMX. So think about that in all of this, and I think that this is such a giant conversation to have that it needs a follow-up. So I'm probably going to do a live stream tonight or tomorrow night, just talking with my community and bringing up the question of why do you think having a skate park in a local community could benefit that local community, and why do you think it's important? So we're going to probably do that tonight or tomorrow night, and I will link it in the description down below after it is over so you can watch that as well and hear what real people think about skate parks in their communities, or real people who don't have skate parks in their communities think about having to travel to other places and just the importance of it. So that being said, thank you for watching this video. I hope that it's helped you. I hope that it kind of made you think about this subject, and hopefully maybe this could have a part in leading to different local communities having skate parks built because you've thought about what it could mean to the community and the people in it. So thank you for watching. If you're new here or you haven't yet, I have a ton of other videos about learning how to ride BMX, BMX news, riding with my friends, and all kinds of other things that I think you might enjoy. So consider subscribing down below, and hopefully that'll mean we'll see you tomorrow for another one.